Good morning, everyone. Today we'll see how the KubeDB presets works in Xcode Cloud UI. So, what is KubeDB preset? This is let me show that first. If you see that the hand releases that gets installed in a device cluster is like so many hand releases. So, from that you should find one related to KubeDB UI presets. This one. So this actually holds all the information related to the KubeDB UI. So what does it hold? Let's see the YAML. Okay, here you can see in the value section we describe a lots of stuffs like what should be the cluster issuer list, what should be the backup configuration, how the backup should be taken, how the archiving should be taken, what is the default value of the alerts, then what are the databases modes, what are the available versions. Also, we also describe how we can, if we should expose the databases and what we should see in the left panel of the KubeDB UI and so on and so forth. So lots of stuff here. If we see the same thing from the UI, just access your cluster. So here my EKS cluster is up and running. Access the cluster, go to settings and go to preset. You should see this KubeDB UI presets thing. This KubeDB UI presets is actually part of the KubeDB feature set. So if you go to there, under the database section, this KubeDB UI presets is part of the KubeDB feature set. And if we click on edit values now here, you should see the same thing that we just saw in the terminal, just in a like visual way. So for example, I'll click on left panel. So what are the values or what are the pages that you want to see in the left panel of the KubeDB UI? So like you want to show the backup? Oh yes. You want to see the insights, operations? You want to need to see the security tab? Disable that. So if you like go to the KubeDB UI, we can just compare them side by side. So let's click on the PG1. Here you can see that the backup page, operations page, those are enabled here, are getting showed in the left panel. Similarly, for example, let's say this is the deletion policy. So this deletion policy will be set when we try to create one database. Like you are going to create one database, then in that database, the deletion policy will be set to wipe out. But if you change here, the change will be impacted there. So after changing from wipeout to delete, if you go to create some new database, in that case, that database will have the deletion policy to be deleted. And similarly, like for example, I can show you from the configure database section. Let's say, for example, MongoDB. So here you can see that available versions are only these 5. So if we go to there in the KubeDB UI and click on that create MongoDB button, let's say I'm going to create in org1 and mg is the name of the DB. Once it gets loaded, you should see that those 5 versions are available here. And if you want to add more options, just add that, and that should be immediately change available here. And once you are done, you can just create the DB. So this is the configure database part, similar to like cluster tier and the placement policy. So what are the available placement policy? If you have multiple placement policy there, you can just choose one, choose multiples, and make one default, similar to node topology too. Then auth credential. If can the user modify the auth credential? Here it is button is enabled. So if we go there and provide authentication credential, user can choose this one, right? So as you can see that user can modify. Yes, user can modify here. Then the custom configuration is on, so user can configure the database. If it was off, then in that case, user would not see this button. Then the storage class. Here, the available storage class is GP2. So in the storage class list, you should see only GP2. This expose button, users can modify the expose via gateway. Yes. So here you see the button. But if it was disabled, in that case, you should not see that button. But if that is also enabled, in that case, you should see it is exposed by default. Then the preview section, if this show preview button was enabled, in that case, this deploy button would be a preview button. So you could see the YAMLs that is going to be deployed. In the node selector section, if some node selector value was there, in that case, those node selector would be used in the created database, same as tolerations too. In the backup section, can user modify the backup? Yeah. So you are seeing that enable backup button and take backup by backup configuration. So as the option is backup configuration, when you create on deploy button, a backup configuration YAML will be deployed. But if it was a backup blueprint, in that case, some backup blueprint will be used by this database. So once, let's say, let's change something. So for example, in the preview section, I'm like want to show the preview. In the expose section, I want to make it expose by gateway by default enabled. And let's say preview and deploy. And if we come back here and do a refresh, we should find the difference here. And here, scroll down, yep, this is by default enabled, and you see the preview button. So this is the use case of the KubeDB UI presets. And if you go back to the preset page again, you should see some other presets, the stash presets and monitoring presets. So these two presets are of different use case. So for example, let's say the stash presets. In the stash presets, if I show the YAML first, that will be better, I think. Yes, in the stash presets thing, as you can see that it is referring the kube stash and what is the S3 credential that is going to be used for taking the backups, and what is the endpoint where the bucket exists. That refers to that, and what is the region. So that backup related all the stuffs are kept in the stash presets YAML, and you can see that it holds some information like what is the encryption secret to be used, what is the retention policy to be used, and what is the storage reference to be used. So for example, you have manually create one new backup storage. Like I can show you that you have one backup storage which is running in stash namespace. The name is default. So if you create some other backup storage, you can refer that backup storage here, and that will be used by the default backup storage on that cluster. And same to the retention policy and encryption secret stuffs. So yeah, that's it for today. So have a good day.